What's up, guys? Welcome back to Storytime with Uncle Jon. Hey, that's me. Had a couple people request Tales from the Front Desk, so I figured why not? Nice snowy day like today. Actually, it snowed yesterday and last night, but the snow's still on the ground, so yuck. Anyway, quick update before we get started. I've been talking about it for a while, even back in the other house before we moved, starting another channel. Talking about, some of our homesteading type stuff. I don't know why I always do air quotes. I hate air quotes. It makes me cringe when I do it. But anyway, our little farmette type things. We got a few acres now, and just thought, maybe some people would be interested in seeing some of our daily chores, farm chores, as it were. I mean, I use that word farm loosely, but anyway, we got our chickens. We're going to grow some stuff this spring hopefully for market. I'm not sure how good the first year is going to be, but at least we can get things started and get a plan going for the next season. Been working on a new chicken coop and run and things like that. Picked up a new rooster yesterday. Don't normally go for roosters because they can be obnoxious, and if you've never been spurred by an angry rooster, it's quite an experience. But anyway, this was a pretty boy. He's under a year old, can be handled by people, seems really chill. And if we keep handling him, hopefully he'll protect his girls without actually attacking us or the dogs. Nickel's here. Gonna let you in on a little something here. This is the second time recording this video because my dumb ass didn't realize that this microphone wasn't hooked up. It was only the camera microphone, and it sounds like I'm in the bottom of a well, and I guess I could upload it, but I don't want to, so I'm gonna re-record it. The reactions aren't quite as spontaneous because I've already read the stories, but anyway, Nickel was sitting in the window earlier, and I made mention that it's kind of cool. I just realized that the mirror's back here on the wall, and so even if he's not sitting on the dresser, you can see him sitting in the window, yada yada. Now, after going through all that stuff, and I was setting up to edit when I realized the mic had gone kerflooey. Now he's taking a nap on the bed and pretty much trying to ignore me and the rest of the world. So until the birds come back, he loves watching the birds. So anyway, let me know what you think about that other channel idea. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. You guys are here for the stories, not the farm crap. So, but if I at least have some interest, maybe I can get it started and see where it goes. Anyway, let's do some Tales from the Front Desk and see what crazy stuff people are up to again. DNR'd again. After 2 years, I ended up having to find a new job, and now I'm working at a different hotel. Different brand names and location, but it's mostly been the same nonsense. It's within the same price range and quality as the last place I worked at. And on my first day of training, while scrolling through their DNR list, I actually recognized quite a few names. That's Do Not Rent. My brain always goes to Do Not Resuscitate first, but this is Do Not Rent. Then I happened upon the in-house guests, and there I saw another familiar name. Someone who was banned from my old place because their dogs absolutely trashed the room, who happens to absolutely hate me for banning her. Lol. I started telling the guy training me about her and why we banned her. Turns out he didn't know she had dogs. She never reported them to avoid the pet fee. On top of that, he realized they refused to let housekeeping in that room at all since their stay began. Given what I told him, he had housekeeping do a mandatory inspection of the room the next day. Lo and behold, there was dog shit absolutely everywhere. Again. And she had smoked in a non-smoking room. He has housekeeping send her over to the desk and DNRs her from here as well. The look on her face when she finally registered where she recognized me from made me laugh so hard when she left. Like, yeah, B, it's me again. Funny seeing you here. Listen, I have pets. I have children. The thought of letting any of them trash the room, and you knew you were letting your dogs trash the room because you didn't let housekeeping in. You also didn't let the front desk know that you had animals, obviously. I don't know. People just suck. I'm not saying I've never tried to get away with the whole, sneaking the pet thing in again, but I made damn sure that my animal wasn't trashing the room. Even back in my younger days when we used to have parties in hotels, I would never think to trash a hotel room. And if anything did happen while I was there, I would either own up to it or clean it up myself or whatever and make it right, I don't know. People suck. Okay, so you didn't do your research before you booked, and you're saying that's our fault? Our hotel is pet friendly, FYI. Pet friendly does not mean pet is free. When a hotel lists pet friendly as an amenity, all it's saying is that we allow pets. This is in contrast to hotels who may not allow pets at all. You have to look on the website or through the app to additional charges and policies that may incur. Our hotel charges $75 for pets the whole stay. It's non-refundable. I agree it's a high price, but part of it's due to the digital key allowing guests to check in, skip the desk, and sneak in pets. Those pets damage the room and incur higher cleaning costs and labor, which circles back to the pet fee being raised. We get in trouble for not enforcing this fee, so I stick to the rules and enforce it when I see any animal. An old couple booked a room with us, and when they arrived I asked if they were traveling with any pets. The husband said yes, confidently. I then explained to him that there was a $75 non-refundable pet fee, and he froze and stared at me like I had a second head. He bemoaned, "Even for our tiny dog?" "Yes, sir, it's a pet." "Well, that's robbery." Would you like to cancel?" "No, but I need to tell my wife, though." He tells his wife outside, then comes in. "Well, if we had known this beforehand, we would have never stayed here." Cool. I hand him keys, making sure his card is authorized the full stay with the pet fee first. "The call center told us you were pet friendly." Okay, so this guy doesn't know the difference. Cool. I'll explain it. So I explain the above. "Your call center should have said you charged a fee." Did you ask them about the fee?" "No, I didn't know you had to be technical with asking. You would think something as reputable as this brand would communicate that if asked." "But you didn't ask about the fee, sir. For future reference, additional fees and policies can be found on our website." "We were driving." "Okay, so you didn't do your research before you booked, and you're saying that's our fault?" He asked for a manager, and I told him I was the manager on duty. I love that line. I told him my manager would tell him the exact same thing, and his pet fee wasn't going to be waived. They go upstairs to unload. Wife comes down complaining just loud enough over her shoulder that her stay would be improved if I took off the pet fee. I told her I can't do that. He comes back downstairs acting coy. "Are you still doing the 100% satisfaction guarantee?" He came down another time within the same 15-minute window with his confirmation email. "Show me on here where the pet fee is listed." I explained to him again it's on our website. He asks again about the 100% satisfaction guarantee. Big red flags. I can see them already trying to take advantage of staying here, and then call corporate whining about a million things to get a free night and the fee waived. I tell him that not only is his request going to be denied, but it's also not fair to everyone else who stays here and pays the fee. He's using our hotel's amenities and will be paying full price, regardless of what he believes pet-friendly means, or how he thinks I'm doing such a terrible job. He made another comment. "We'll see about that," with the tone of, "I'm going to get a free night from here with your 100% guarantee." Keep in mind this is about the 5th time I'd seen him in the past hour since he checked in. My patience had worn thin from all their snark and comments and entitlement. So I told him the only way I can waive your pet fee, he perked up at this, is if I cancel your reservation and you go somewhere else. "No, we're going to resolve it tomorrow with your manager." I flipped the switch and told him he had 20 minutes to pack his belongings and leave. He stared at me incredulously. "If you're not out in 20 minutes, I will have the police escort you out." "You're serious? You aren't really going to..." 20 minutes. He goes upstairs, comes down looking for a luggage cart. He comes by the desk and grabs my manager's card. He demands I write my name down. I told him no. So he took my pen anyway and wrote my name and took it with him. His wife came downstairs in a fake-sounding cry, bemoaning, "So much for hospitality. I'm never staying with Brand again. I hope you're happy with yourself. I've never even had a speeding ticket in my life and you're calling the police on us. We traveled here because of my sick mom and you're kicking us out." The husband barraged me with, "You enjoy your career? You happy with yourself sitting comfortably? Have you trained people? Are you really a manager? Where's the sense in all this? I wish you luck on your career. I'll be emailing your boss and Brand for this. I'm a customer. They'll listen to me." I remained curt with him, trying to get his receipt printed for him, but my printer stopped working during this encounter. He got more and more annoyed with me when I called tech support to troubleshoot it, so I just sent him an email with his receipt and told him his charges would drop off with no payment. "They better," he said, and then he was out. People like this are amazing. The sense of entitlement and the fact that they think, I don't know what they think, like you have some special privileges above everybody else that rents hotel rooms there. I can understand if you missed it, you didn't see it on the website, you didn't ask about it, whatever, it happens. I mean, sometimes I don't ask the right questions. And, the hotel did make it known on their website. They don't have to spoon feed you every bit of information on every phone call that comes in because, then it would be an hour-long phone call instead of a 5-minute reservation phone call. When you call in, it's actually up to the customer to do their due diligence and ask the right questions. Now, whoever's booking you, if you're doing it verbally over the phone, I would think would ask if you have pets that you're traveling with and then say, "Oh, by the way, there's going to be a $75 non-refundable pet fee." But hey, that's their policy. It doesn't matter. The fee is the fee. You either pay it or you stay somewhere else. Can't get much easier than that. Don't give someone keys if their card has failed. We're a fairly new hotel, only open for about 8 months. And of those 8 months, Adam has worked here for about 6 of them. 3 times now, Adam has given people keys without taking payment. The first time this lady for some reason refused to pay the rate. I honestly don't know the whole story, but what I do know is that he didn't want to deal with her yelling, so he gave her keys and left her in my arrivals. Thankfully the card went through and I was able to check her in. The second time, this guy's company card was failing, and because they were regulars, he gave the man the keys. I had to zero out the rate, check him in, then put the rate back. Well, when the man came to get his folio, I explained the card was still not working. He looked shocked. Turned out Adam didn't inform him that there was an issue with his card when he checked him in. The third time was tonight. Apparently the lady swiped her card, but the card reader timed out right after. So even though it showed on her end that the card went through, it didn't on our end. He gave her the keys. I tried to auth her card, but it failed. Again, had to zero her out, check her in, and charge the rate back. I have a feeling that her card is still not going to work when she tries to check out. That's even if she comes to the desk. I just hope it's after I leave. Adam also has a problem of pre-making keys so that when guests come to check in, he just hands them the keys and forgets to check them in. So I end up no-showing them before the audit, and they're in-house and sometimes their card fails. He was told by my sales manager to stop pre-making the keys because of this, but he sometimes still does. I had a question about how Adam was still employed here, and evidently down below somebody else did too. How is he still employed? OP says because he is our district manager's neighbor and the reason he was hired in the first place. Thus my GM can't write him up because he stops it from happening, essentially making him untouchable. Welcome to the wonderful world of nepotism. I don't understand why people do that. Hire friends, family, neighbors, whatever, and all of a sudden they become these untouchable entities that can just screw off and do whatever they want to do. Whether it's actual incompetence or intentional incompetence, yeah, that's just a bad look all the way around. And it puts strain on the customers, it puts strain on the hotel, it puts strain on your coworkers. Why even have that person there? You're paying them to do a job that they're not going to do properly. You'd be better off just giving somebody else the extra hours and having one less person on staff. Not saying being short-staffed is much better, but it's better than having somebody screw up constantly and then other people have to clean up their mess. Again, people suck. Thought he was gonna die. I'll probably get demonetized for saying that. So this one time I worked the morning shift and came very early to make sure I had time to change to the uniform and eat breakfast, etc. The night shift told me about this crazy night that went like this. The fire alarm goes off at 2 a.m., so the hotel had to evacuate. One man comes down and tells them to call an ambulance because he thinks he's having a heart attack. He also says it was him setting off the alarm since he had knocked on several doors, but nobody answered. Well, duh, it's 2 a.m. and you sound like a lunatic. The hotel is located in mid-city and sometimes people are drunk or in another way intoxicated. So an ambulance is called, of course, but midst of the evacuation, another man fell on the street and hit his head. So of course he had to call for another ambulance. When it's finally done, people got to their rooms and everything seems calm. Guess what? Another fire alarm. Evacuation time once more. No apparent reason for the alarm of what I remember. Sometimes they're just crazy sensitive. So around 5:45, the first guy comes back and of course they have to know if he was okay. Like, dude, you thought you were about to die. He was awfully quiet and looking like a 5-year-old, guilty of something. Apparently he had a very hot chili dish the night before and it had burned so much that yes, he thought it was a heart attack. I felt so bad for him, but at the same time, this could have been a sitcom. I was laughing so hard. Another little fact, people kept asking why the alarm went off the first time, about the ambulances, etc. Had to say he was afraid to die and knocked on several doors. One dude was like, "Oh, I heard him, but thought he was a crazy maniac. I didn't want to open it for him." And all I could think of was the reason why, but couldn't tell them. I just had to conceal my smirk. I still think about him and I hope he's okay and can laugh about it to his friends to this day. Evacuate a whole hotel with over 500 plus people inside because of chili. Sorry, but that's funny to me. By the way, the other dude who fell and hit his head was also okay. Nobody got hurt, just a bad night sleep-wise. I guess I've just never been in that much of a panic. I've seen other people get into panics, and as soon as they start to panic, now even when I am in a stressful situation, my thought processes tend to change a little, and sometimes you get a little hazy, a little cloudy because, you're trying to race through what should happen next. But to be in such a panic where you can't function and you're just running up and down the halls, banging on doors and then pulling the fire alarm, I don't understand, man. Every hotel I've ever seen on TV, been in personally, had friends travel to, forever there's always been a phone in these rooms. Even the cheap little dinky places have some kind of communication, phone in their room, even if it only calls the front desk. So press 0, let the front desk know what's going on, and have them call 911. Also, if this is any time in the last 12, 15 years, I can almost guarantee if you got enough money to, rent a hotel room, the hotel that holds 500 plus people, you probably had a cell phone. Why didn't you just use a cell phone to call emergency services? It just doesn't make any sense. Now, one thing I will say that I wish hotels would do, and I don't know how feasible this is. My mom lives in it's not assisted living. It's like a townhouse, but it's in a development that's all for retired people. And one thing they do have in their bathrooms is one of those little pull chains that's on the wall between the toilet and the tub. And if you're having a medical crisis or something like that, you pull on this chain and it sends a signal to somebody, some monitoring company somewhere, like a dispatcher, and they'll speak to you over the speaker that's on the wall where this pull chain is and ask if you're having a medical emergency. Is everything okay? Was it an accident? Whatever. And then get the appropriate people to you. It would kind of be nice because, not everybody's going to take their cell phone into the bathroom with them when they shower or do their business. And I kind of feel like you'd be stuck in that little room if you did have a true medical emergency. So having some kind of communication device would be nice. I can also see where it would be a hassle because, little kids and drunks tend to do bad things when there's too many options available to them. But anyway, but, I don't know. What do you think? I think it'd be kind of a cool idea, but it would get abused for sure because, again, people suck. Why is their room ready and not mine? Why am I the only one who doesn't have a room ready? All right, let me put some details on. There's a group of people from some company that came in to check around 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. FYI, our checkout time is 11 a.m. and check-in time is 4 p.m. So obviously not all rooms will be ready by then, and early check-in will depend on if we have rooms ready from the night before. Since this is booked by the company, most of the people knew each other. They're colleagues. This group of people are terrible. Not all of them, but most of them are. They're very mean, rude, and very demanding. Of course, the company's paying for it. I checked in 3 ladies, and it happens that one of them couldn't get a room ready as we don't have anything left to check her into. She'll need to wait until housekeeping releases a room to be ready. This lady went ballistic, raising her voice. Why is their room ready and not mine? Why am I the only one who doesn't have a room ready? It wasn't just her room that wasn't ready. There's a lot of people that were also waiting for a room. She's just exaggerating. I explained that I already went around my inventory, but I really have nothing left to check her into. I also reminded this lady that check-in is 4 p.m. and we're trying to accommodate the early check-in if there's a room ready. It's only 11:30 a.m. The other ladies offered to have her stay in their room while waiting for her room, but she's still upset and eventually left. This is just one, and there's a lot after asking for early check-in and giving me reasons like they need to change. They need to get ready. Their flight arrived early. Like, come on, you're well aware of when the flight will arrive to the port of destination. You booked it. All sorts of excuses just to get a room ready that I don't have. I can't give you a miracle. There's no guarantee for early check-in, and we try our best to accommodate. Just be patient and be nice. Seriously, I don't understand what makes people think that you can just have a room when you get there just because you're there. When you're booking a room, especially if it's online, but most of the time, if you call in, they're going to tell you check-in time is at 3, check-in time is at 4, whatever. If you're looking it up online and actually setting it up on the hotel website or on even, like Booking or Priceline or whatever those companies are, you're going to see where it says check-in is this time, check-out is that time. It doesn't mean, just because you're standing in front of the desk and it's 3 hours, 4 hours early that you're going to get your room. Housekeeping needs time to turn these rooms over, clean them up, turn them over, and make sure that nothing's damaged and all that kind of stuff. When they're cleaning and they're putting their hands on everything in the room, they'll notice if something's broken and then put it into maintenance and things like that. There's a process to these things. But somehow people always think that they're special and, people suck. Hoarding sheets. So we have a kid staying at our hotel under an employee rate of one of his friends. This kid is literally something else. We have him in a double for 2 weeks. It's been about a week so far. Every single day, he comes to the desk wanting new sheets for both beds and a new set of towels, 3 bath, hand, washcloths, and mat. We have a policy at the hotel to try to curb theft that in order to get new sets, you need to exchange the dirty at the time of requesting the new ones. He constantly lies to the front desk saying, "Oh, I put them in the hall for the housekeeping and they never gave me the new ones." Or, "I turned them in earlier." I caught him in a lie once. He came and I asked him when he turned them in. It was about 7 p.m. He said he turned them into the desk at 5 p.m. I said, "Oh, that's odd because I've been the only one at the desk since 3 p.m. He obviously says, "No, it was 5 a.m. Right. "Well, sorry, dude. Can't give you anything until you bring down something for me to exchange." You can tell he's privileged and never gets told no. Because when you tell him no, he huffs and puffs and walks off in a tantrum. Lol. He's also made a habit of handing in one towel and expecting a full set back. Nope. I'm going to replace what you give me and that's it. But then he goes and lies saying he turned in a full set but only got one towel in exchange to the next shift. I'm not understanding why, if he's the only person in the room, why he needs new sheets for both beds and new towels every day. Housekeeping finally got into his room today. They about lost their mind. About 13 to 15 pillowcases all over the floor, stuffed with towels and sheets he's been hoarding after getting them from other staff. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's clearly got something going on. It's funny, I read through some of the comments down below this post, and some people suggested that, maybe he's incontinent at night, a bedwetter. And OP said no. All the sheets were pretty much practically folded and still clean, like he never even put them on the beds. He was just bringing them up to his room and sticking them right into a pillowcase. Somebody suggested that maybe he's gonna hoard them and sell them off. I'm not sure how much hotel sheets are worth. Depends on the hotel, I guess. And then some people said, OCD behavior, but no, there was something up with this guy. As far as being privileged and things like that, I'm not sure how privileged he was. OP later mentioned that he had been, the friend had been taking care of this guy for the last year or so because he got kicked out of his house. And, maybe there's some mental health issues going on there. And it doesn't sound like this guy came from much of anything and didn't own much of anything. And I guess scarcity is one of those things that creates these little tics that people have of, hoarding whatever it is. I've gotten into that trap before with, hardware, nails, screws, odds and ends, bolts, things like that. It's like, someday I'll use this. And, you end up with freaking 25-gallon buckets full of random hardware. And it's like, yeah, I'll never sort to the bottom of that. I'm just going to go to the store and buy the bolts that I need. So anyway, I can see where some of that would come into play. But this guy sounds a little touched. Maybe he needs some help. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's stories from Tales from the Front Desk. Let me know what you think about the other, channel idea, homestead, farm-style videos. Like I said, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but let me know what you think, and we'll see what happens. All right, till the next one, we'll see you.